Long before the rise of modern civilization, before cities, agriculture, or even the concept of safety, humans were not rulers of the world. They were survivors. Scattered bands of Neanderthals and early Homo sapiens moved across frozen tundras, dense forests, and river valleys, not as apex predators, but as prey. The prehistoric world was not only wild, it was terrifying. Imagine stepping outside your primitive shelter, built of mammoth bones and stretched hides to fetch water. You glance over your shoulder, not once but twice. Behind every boulder, in every shadow, something might be watching. The creatures of the Pleistocene and earlier epochs were not just animals, they were monsters by today's standards, larger, faster, stronger, and far more aggressive. These beasts didn't just shape the landscape, they shaped us. This is a journey through time, a closer look at the 10 most dangerous animals our ancestors had to face. From towering predators to silent stalkers, each one posed an existential threat. For those who survived, the story was passed down in cave paintings and bone fragments. For us, it's a reminder of just how thin the line between survival and extinction really was. Towering over early humans at a staggering 4 meters tall and weighing as much as 6 tons, the woolly mammoth was a behemoth of the Ice Age. Covered in thick, insulating fur and equipped with massive spiraled tusks up to 4 meters long, this ancient elephant was both a source of life and death. For prehistoric people, the mammoth was a walking treasure trove. Its meat could feed a clan for weeks, its bones could build huts, its hide became tents and clothing. But hunting one was a deadly gamble. These creatures weren't slow or dim-witted. They were intelligent, social, and fiercely protective. A startled mammoth could charge at terrifying speed, trampling hunters underfoot or skewering them with a single sweep of its tusks. There's archaeological evidence, such as the mammoth bone huts of Mazirek in Ukraine, that show the deep reliance humans had on this animal. But they also tell a story of how dangerous it was to earn that reward. To bring down a mammoth, hunters had to dig hidden pit traps, launch spears in coordinated attacks, and often suffer casualties. One wrong step and an entire clan could be lost under the weight of a single giant. Despite their size, mammoths were not predators. But their immense strength and unpredictability made them one of the most feared animals of the Pleistocene. If the mammoth was the titan of the plains, the woolly rhinoceros was its armored tank. Reaching up to 2 meters in height and weighing more than 3,000 kilograms, this beast carried a deadly weapon on its face, a front horn that could grow over 1 meter long. Unlike modern rhinos, which live in warm climates, the woolly rhino thrived in the cold. Its thick fur and fat reserves helped it survive in the harshest Ice Age conditions. But what made it truly dangerous was its temperament. Woolly rhinos were solitary and extremely territorial. If they sensed movement or a threat, they often charged without hesitation. For prehistoric humans, this meant that even approaching one was a deadly risk. Early cave paintings in France depict the woolly rhinoceros, sometimes with spears flying toward it, proof of the deadly confrontations that took place. No matter how desperate a clan was for food, attacking a woolly rhino was never a first choice. Unlike mammoths, rhinos couldn't be baited or herded. They attacked like machines, their horns capable of impaling an adult man clean through. Even large predators kept their distance. And for early humans, the only protection was distance, numbers, and luck. Majestic, powerful, and terrifying, the cave lion was the largest big cat of the Ice Age. Larger than today's African lions, with males likely weighing up to 350 kilograms, this predator was built for strength and speed. Despite its name, the cave lion didn't live in caves. It was named after the images early humans painted inside them, often showing the beast mid-hunt or surrounded by prey. Unlike modern lions, cave lions may have hunted alone or in small family units. Their range stretched across Europe, Siberia, and even into Alaska via the Bering Land Bridge. Their prey included deer, horses, young mammoths, and, at times, humans. Cave lion attacks on humans were not rare. A solitary human gathering wood or a child wandering from camp could fall victim. But more than physical attacks, it was the threat, the eyes in the dark, the silent approach, the speed of the kill that haunted early tribes. Some researchers suggest that our instinctive fear of big cats, our reaction to glowing eyes or sudden movements, may be a psychological fossil of these ancient confrontations. In this world, the roar of a lion wasn't just a sound of nature, it was a death sentence. Standing over 3 meters tall, when on its hind legs and weighing more than 1,000 kilograms, the cave bear was a towering presence in Ice Age Europe. Unlike its modern cousins, the cave bear spent a large portion of its life inside caves, making it a direct competitor with humans for shelter. Though it was largely herbivorous, especially in later evolutionary stages, its massive size, territorial aggression, and unpredictability made it extremely dangerous. A single swipe from its paw could shatter a man's ribs. And worse, if a human stumbled into its den during hibernation or attempted to claim it as shelter, it could awaken in a fury. Cave paintings in Chauvet and other European sites show how deeply the cave bear was embedded in the mythos and fear of early humans. Its bones were often arranged ritually, suggesting both reverence and terror. For a tribe traveling during winter, accidentally disturbing a cave bear could mean death not just for one, but for all. Unlike predators that stalk from the shadows, the cave bear's threat was brutally direct. If it attacked, you didn't run, you prayed. Smileodon, the iconic saber-toothed cat, may be the most famous predator of the Pleistocene. It roamed across the Americas, its massive canines, up to 28 centimeters long, earning it a fearsome reputation. But its killing style was unlike that of modern big cats. It didn't rely on suffocation or prolonged pursuit. Smileodon would ambush, deliver a devastating bite to the neck or belly, and retreat, waiting for its prey to bleed out. That made it extremely dangerous to humans. Unlike lions or wolves, which might be deterred by fire or noise, Smileodon hunted in silence and with surgical precision. If it saw an opening, especially against the sick, elderly, or young, it took it. Fossil records show numerous Smileodon skeletons with healed injuries, suggesting that they lived and hunted in groups, possibly cooperating like lions. For humans, this meant they couldn't just watch for one cat, they had to watch for a team. Survival required constant vigilance. Campsites were often established near cliffs, rivers, or natural barriers, not for convenience but for defense against creatures like Smileodon. In the silent battle between man and beast, one misstep in the dark could be your last. The direwolf, immortalized in modern fantasy, was a very real threat to prehistoric people. Larger and heavier than the gray wolf, it was not just a bigger dog, it was a relentless pack hunter. With a powerful jaw and a robust skull, it could crush bone more easily than modern wolves, and its size allowed it to take down large prey such as bison, horses, and possibly even juvenile mammoths. But what made dire wolves truly terrifying was their social hunting. Fossil beds like the La Brea tar pits show dozens of individuals dying in pursuit of a single struggling prey animal. This evidence suggests that dire wolves hunted in large, highly coordinated packs. Imagine facing not one predator, but 12. For human clans, this meant they had to build fires, rotate night watches, and stay mobile. Even then, dire wolves could trail them for days, waiting for exhaustion to set in or for someone to lag behind. Worse, they were bold. Unlike big cats, which might be solitary and cautious, dire wolves were persistent. They tested the edge of light, the perimeter of camp, and the weakest links of every group. If you fell, they were there. Before rivers were safe, they were silent traps, and lurking within them was a creature more fearsome than any modern crocodile. Deinosuchus. Measuring up to 10 meters long, with a bite force exceeding that of T-Rex, this ancient predator patrolled freshwater swamps and estuaries in what is now North America. To prehistoric humans or early primates, Deinosuchus was invisible death. It didn't roar. It didn't chase. It waited. One step too close to the water's edge and you were gone. Dragged into a murky abyss, bones crushed, lungs filled, gone without a trace. For tribes that relied on water for survival, Deinosuchus represented a horrifying paradox. They needed the river for fish, hydration, and travel, but it also harbored their most silent predator. Though it likely died out millions of years before Homo sapiens evolved, its closest relatives, massive crocodilians, still pose threats to early hominins in Africa and Southeast Asia. These animals were ancient reminders that in some places you weren't the hunter, you were bait. In the isolated land of New Zealand, a different kind of predator evolved, not on four legs but on wings. The Haast eagle was the largest eagle to have ever existed, with a wingspan of 2.5 to 3 meters and talons the size of a tiger's claw. Its primary prey was the giant moa, a flightless bird standing up to 3.5 meters tall. But Haast's eagle was more than capable of killing a human. In fact, the Maori people of New Zealand have oral legends of a massive bird of prey that would snatch children or attack lone travelers. These were not myths, they were memories. With incredible speed and devastating power, Haast's eagle could dive from great heights and kill with one strike to the skull or back of the neck. For early humans living in forested clearings, a moment of inattention, especially for children, could result in sudden, swift death from above. This was a world where the sky, too, was a battlefield. Deep in the hot, humid rainforests of Paleocene South America slithered a nightmare. Titanoboa, the largest snake ever discovered, measured over 13 meters long and weighed more than a ton. Unlike venomous snakes, it killed with crushing force, wrapping its muscular body around prey and squeezing until the bones snapped and the lungs collapsed. While Titanoboa lived roughly 60 million years ago, long before modern humans, it serves as a prehistoric warning. Its modern relatives, like giant pythons and anacondas, continued to pose threats to early people in the jungles of Southeast Asia and the Americas. To walk in tall grass or bathe in a warm river meant risking ambush. There were no loud noises, no warning signs, just a sudden movement, then darkness. The fear of snakes that plagues so many modern humans may well be an inherited terror passed down from countless generations of encounters with massive constrictors like Titanoboa. Last but not least, one of the strangest and most terrifying animals ever to roam prehistoric Earth, Entelodont, nicknamed the hell pig. It wasn't truly a pig, but it looked like a monstrous boar crossed with a hyena, standing up to 2 meters tall with a gaping maw of sharp, bone-crushing teeth. Entelodonts were omnivorous but aggressive. They could chase down prey or scavenge kills from other predators. Their powerful jaws were capable of shattering bones to reach the marrow, and their massive skulls, sometimes making up over a third of their body length, gave them a menacing appearance unlike anything alive today. Early humans in Eurasia and North America may have encountered close relatives of these beasts. The hell pig was fast, territorial, and completely unpredictable. It didn't need a reason to charge. In areas where food was scarce, it was as likely to see humans as a threat or a meal. And in an age before secure shelters or high ground, that made it one of the most dreaded encounters possible. The world of our prehistoric ancestors was not just a struggle against cold or hunger, it was a daily test of awareness, courage, and adaptability. From giant snakes and skyborne killers to ancient wolves and thunderous mammoths, early humans were surrounded by creatures that could end their lives in an instant. But through strategy, cooperation, and the spark of intelligence, humans endured. They didn't just run from these threats, they learned to confront them. Fire, spears, traps, and teamwork gave our species the edge to rise, not to the top of the food chain by size or strength, but by wit. These creatures may be gone now, but their legacy remains. In our fears, our myths, and our stories they live on. And every step we take on Earth is still haunted by the shadows of the giants that came before.